Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Lee Judges TV. Now, first of all, a little bit of an apology. We haven't been on for a few days, mainly because we've all been busy. Dan is at the Grand Prix, and I think they've had an amazing day down there. Giggy Dave, I don't know what he's been doing. He's been doing things. He's been out and about with his camera. And, of course, I've been doing a little bit of stuff for Wimbledon, and I've had to drag myself away from the Wimbledon tennis at the moment because it's absolutely fantastic. Djokovic 1-set-all at this moment in time. Don't we just love Wimbledon? But also, of course, we can't not ignore the transfer window. It's been very, very quiet as far as I'm concerned for us Arsenal fans. I honestly expected a little bit more than what we've got at the moment. We're going to discuss that in a moment. But this is the problem that I've got. Doing the show with BetVictor last week, and they were talking about this. And this is my problem. And this is why Arsenal have got to sort this out in this transfer window. Play the clip, Dave.
Arsenal will go, yeah, but when was the last time we won an FA Cup? We can run an FA Cup once. Doesn't mean anything.
Flav, I've got no idea how many times we finished above Manchester United or not or whatever. It's weird that you know that. It's really weird.
It doesn't
do you know why I know this?
To me either.
What are you talking about? Do you know why it makes sense? It's because Arsenal made up a name of the day that they finish above us. It's called St. Tottenham's Day or something.
Yeah, but that's just taking the mick, isn't it? Like, because at the end of it, 21 years, and ultimately you say about winning trophies and everything. It is about when we was getting above in those 21 years, we was winning things as well. And I mean, not just FA Cups, titles, and at the end of it, Tottenham were in relegation battles. And I do think the power shift, or whatever you want to say, is Tottenham have done really, really well. But I have to admit that Arsenal's levels have dropped. Arsenal have dropped instead of maintaining the level. So that is our problem, and Arsenal have got to get back to that. And once they do, listen, I think there's going to be, the two big North London clubs will get into the top four next season.
Hi guys, and welcome to Lee Judges TV. Lee is covering his face big time there. I can see why. Talking about the power shift in North London. Is there one, Lee?
Not yet.
Not
yet, but listen, I'm getting worried about it because, people say don't go on about them down the road, and I don't like talking about them at the best of times, but they are doing the things that I want Arsenal to do, and I mean that sincerely. I think that Tottenham have got a couple of weak areas. Maybe I don't think there was a lot between the two teams last season. If I'll be honest, I think at the end of the day, just a little bit more experience on and off the field was the difference between the two teams. But what they've done is they've addressed their weaknesses. They was weak in midfield like we were. They've addressed it with Basuma. I think they needed backup for Harry Kane and Song. They've gone and got Richarlison, who I absolutely think is a very, very good signing for them. I don't know why Arsenal weren't in for Richarlison when we've, what I like
with Arsenal before. It was
what I like about Tottenham, and I don't like anything about them, but what I will say is that they were in for a Jesus, couldn't get Jesus, so they went then straight away and probably paid more money. They was in for Jesus like Arsenal were, because he was a good player. 45 million's a bargain, but as soon as they couldn't get that, off they went down to Everton and put the money up. 60 million over the top, yes, but they've got the player that they want. Arsenal at this moment in time, dithering and davering, and it's not happening. I think that there is a bit of a worry about this. I think that Tottenham never be as big a club as Arsenal in terms of everything. I know they've got, when Flav was talking about it, saying, we've got a better stadium, we've got a better training ground and all that. They're only better because they're newer. It's at the end of the day, it doesn't mean to say that that you're bigger by that. Court One's a newer stadium than the centre court, but it ain't as good as the centre court. Never will be. Yeah. So I thought I'll bring the Wimbledon analogy into it there, But that's how it is. But what they have got is they've got a mentality of trying to be a big club, and I have to say I think that's something that you have to say, all right, hold your hands up to. With us, we are a big club, but we're not having that mentality at this moment in time. I think people. I put a tweet out the other day and people saying be patient. And these were the same people, Dave, that were saying be patient in January. Oh, well, nothing happened in January. Edu turned around 2 weeks ago and said, the next 2 weeks we're going to be excited. Well, I'm not so sure about that. The other thing that really bugs me a little bit, let's say bugs me, but I just have a look at the mentality of it. Tottenham go in for Richarlison, buy him, get it all sorted out within 2 days.
Exactly.
We signed Jesus a week ago. There's still no announcement, no whatever. Now they know that it's Arsenal fans at the moment, and me being one of them,
they want it.
Yeah, we're very fragile. Yeah, we're very fragile at the moment because not only we're not convinced by the owner, we're not convinced by the manager, we're not convinced by a lot of things down at Arsenal.
Yeah, I can see it.
So we need reassuring. We need an arm around the shoulder to just say, look, we're going to be all right. Don't worry about it. And I don't see that with Arsenal. I see other teams buying players and announcing things, and Arsenal not. And I think that's a big worry for me, and I'm trying to stay positive. I'm trying to stay patient. But when I see what I'm seeing, I these are not problems that have happened just in January, Dave. In this window. These problems have been there since January. We've known since January, the end of January, the beginning to the end of January, that we needed strengthening in midfield. We knew that. We have the exact same midfield. Forget about Vieira at the moment because he's at Odegaard. I don't include Odegaard in the midfield. What I'm looking at as midfield is the two in front, So that's Partey, Xhaka, El Neni, and Lokonga. We have the same 4 midfield players as last season when we knew it was weak. We knew it needed strengthening. We are now into July. Players back in pre-season training, and not that has not been addressed. And people turn around and go, "Oh, but be patient, whatever." I look at us.
Patience is running thin.
Yeah, I look at it for 2 weeks. That we've been trying to get in Rafinha that we're not going to get. I've seen this before with Aouar all summer and not getting him. I see it in January with Vlahovic all January, and now it's happening again. Yes. We go into next season. We went into last season and had a discussion. I can't remember who I had it with. It might have been Dan. I can't remember who it was. We're going into this season. Last season, we went into the beginning of the season with no European football, with 3 strikers: Aubameyang, Eddie, and Lacazette. We are now going into this season, Balogun as well. We are now going into this season with European football, with 1 less striker, because if you include Balogun, he's still there. Eddie's still there.
Lacazette's gone.
Aubameyang's gone. We've replaced it with Jesus. So when you look at that and people going, "Oh, it's a good window," I'm looking at it and thinking, "Well, I don't think it is. Not at this moment in time. We bought two players at the moment that are going to be involved in the coming season." I also see a lot of people saying, "Oh, we've got 5 substitutes the next season." We couldn't fill a bench full of players known last season when we had a couple of injuries. There was young kids running up and down on the touchline. This is Arsenal Football Club where you're asking fans to pay very, very high wages, Dave. Season tickets, and you're seeing kids that we've never seen play in the first team being on the bench in the Premier League with 3 substitutes. It's now 5. I just don't see where Arsenal are going with this transfer window at the moment, and it's very, very worrying. Very worrying.
Yeah, I can definitely understand your frustrations. A lot of frustrations also from the Arsenal fans. Everybody's in the chats going, the chat is heating up. We've got 400 people watching, and we've had a super chat that echoes your worries, Lee. From Chaitanya. Let's be honest, Spurs are having a great transfer window with a top coach like Conte. And he apparently saying dark horses for the Premier League challenge. I don't think so just yet. But the second statement says we need to step up. And Do you agree with that? Do you think Tottenham are I don't think they're challengers, but what's your thoughts on Tottenham and their business at the moment, especially
Dave,
with Conte? And that
I said it a
Stephanie,
week ago.
his authority is quite strong in that club. I can see from the
Yeah,
transfers they're making.
yeah, 100%. I see a week ago. I said it 2 weeks ago, and I say it again on here now. Thank God for Manchester City and Liverpool. Thank God for them, because if it wasn't, they would be really in with a real good chance of winning it. You know, they're going to be they're going to be in a chance of winning the Champions League because they've got players that can do it. They've got a manager that can win. And as you all know, with the Champions League, no disrespect, Dave, but doesn't necessarily mean the best team wins it. Even though I felt Real Madrid deserved it, I didn't think they was the best team in it last season.
No,
but they won't. So that means then that anybody that's got a decent team and a decent manager can get over the line. And win games and get a little bit of momentum. So it is a big worry for me. I look at it with Arsenal at the moment. Can anybody here, safely say that we're going to win the Europa League next season? No, I don't see it. I'm not saying that we can't win it, but I'm not going to put my mortgage on it at this moment in time. I look at Arsenal at this moment, and I have my doubts on Arteta whether he's good enough, right? But if he's not good enough, what he needs is the players to come and get him out of a little bit of trouble. We haven't got those players. We didn't have them last season, and we crumbled towards the end of the season. You could see it, whether it was tiredness or whatever, wasn't there. It's not been replaced. I honestly felt that Arsenal would come in and do exactly what Spurs have done. Show a little bit of intent. Show a little bit of muscle, flex it. We are Arsenal Football Club. Despite being in the Europa League, we've gone bang, bang, bang. And I do feel that we should have had at least another 2 players in already going into the pre-season, and more importantly, going into the trip to America, which is only a couple of weeks away now, Dave. You know what I mean? When you look at that pre-season now, is not about getting fit and getting games under your belt and like it was getting minutes in your legs like it was back in the olden days. Pre-season now is a money-making machine. Get your money in. When you look at it now, all the teams fly all over the place. I think Manchester United, are in Singapore and Bangkok or something, or Tottenham or someone there. Someone's going Australia. Arsenal going to America. Chelsea going to America. Everton going to America. Liverpool, I think, are in the Far East. I think they're in Kuala Lumpur and all that. They're not there to get minutes in their legs, Dave. They're there for money-making reasons. So when you go for money-making reasons, what do you need? You need your big hitters there, your star players on show. Especially when I look at Arsenal, when they go to Orlando, they're going to be doing the kit launch and everything like that. So what's our kit launch going to be? Like Bellerin, Maitland-Niles, Mari going into it that are going to be off come the end of September. I honestly felt that we would get some big money players in. I look at it and I do think this. Look, Basuma. Let's talk about that at the moment. Arsenal. He touted for Arsenal for a couple of seasons. An Arsenal supporter, right? That's a fact. Arsenal, for whatever reason, didn't go for him now, and Tottenham nips in there, and it strengthened their midfield. He would have strengthened our midfield as it stands. So I look at that and think, well, okay, we haven't gone for him. There must be a reason, and that reason being, there must be somebody else that we've got lined up. Well, bring that person in then, Dave. Now, bring that person in.
Is that Tillemans? He's on the phone now.
I don't know who it is, Dave. I don't know if it's Tillemans or not. Listen, I'm going to say this with Arsenal. All this linking stuff and all that, I don't buy into it. I don't even listen to it. When you look at the Vieira one, no one linked anybody with him, and we got him. So I look at it and I think, right, well, but I don't care who it is. Go and get him now. And that is the end of it. You know what I mean? It's a great point that's been made. We let Grammari's go in January. With again, I'm looking at him, and I don't know if we went for him or not. There's a little bit of rumours that we did, but we've allowed him to go in January because we obviously felt that we had someone better in the summer one. I will be absolutely peeved and I will go mad at the end of it. If we come to the beginning of the season and we haven't got a midfield player in, when we've let Grameres go, we've let Basuma go.
Basuma, yeah.
If Tillemans is another one that's going to go.
If that link is going to go or not.
Yeah, I will be absolutely fuming if there is not an improvement in that midfield. We've spent 2.5 weeks with Rafinha. We're spending time now with a left back in Martinez who's 50-50 whether he wants to join us. If there's any inkling that he wants to go to Man United, what are you wasting your time going over there for this week? I really think if Arsenal are going in for this Martinez in the week, right, they better get him, because I tell you what, it's just naivety and poor if they're not doing it. Arsenal needs to start making a start. Edu has done fairly well. It's great to get Jesus, but let's just be honest about Jesus.
That's what this chat came in saying. Not the super chat, but a guy from Gamer says Jesus signed, and the announcement he's being dragged out. Is the communication poor? I mean, look how long it's been since any kind of announcement has been made. And is it going to be the star signing of Arsenal and just basically say, okay, we've got Jesus and that's it? And you actually wanted to call the show, is it time to worry? And it maybe is a time to worry, because if Jesus is going to be the only major signing, then that's going to be a problem for Arsenal, 100%.
100% it's going to be like, I look at that and I think to myself, right, well, okay, what it looks to me is like with Jesus, right, we keep them holding back, you know what I mean, and make that our big signing. They might then forget about win this and forget about that, like, do you know what I mean? Like, Jesus isn't our star signing, if I'll be honest. He's a very, very good player, but he's not our star signing. He's not our way, because at the end of the day, he's surplus requirements at Manchester City. That's the reason that we've got him. You know what I mean? I want us to go out and get someone that someone don't want to let go. Tottenham have got Richarlison. Do you think Everton wanted to let him go? No. We've got, we've got to make a statement. And
yeah.
I'm sorry, you know what I mean? I think Jesus is a good player, and I'm thinking it's a very, very good one. But for me, it's still a bit of a gamble, Dave. No one really knows if he's going to be
a top scorer. Yeah,
is he going to be a top scorer? And we don't know this. You know what I mean? Like, so I think it is a bit of a worry for us at this moment in time. And if we're going down this attitude, Arsenal fans as well as the board and that going, that Jesus is going to be our marquee signing, I'm sorry, that ain't not going to be happening with me. Like, you know what I mean? Doesn't mean to say, by the way, marquee and top signings are great. I get that, and I'm not going to go down that route, because the best signings for Arsenal have always been a little bit low key. If I'll be honest, I look at through the history. I'll give you a little history lesson. We signed Malcolm McDonald, who back in the 70s was the highest paid player at the time in English football. Didn't really, but wasn't a real massive success. Pepe wasn't really a magnificent success. Of course, the money was spent on him. Look at people like Patrick Vieira, 3 million, big success.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, we paid big money for Dennis Bergkamp, massively successful. We actually paid big money for Charlie Nicholas when everybody wanted Charlie Nicholas. We got him, but it sent a statement. It didn't necessarily was the perfect statement, but there was an intent. So it doesn't mean, I'm not saying we should go massively big. We went big with Ben White. I said this the other day. We went massively over the top with Ben White. Why go over the top with Ben White, but we're not prepared to go over the top with Rafinha? We're not prepared to go over the top with these players that we're linked with. Tells me that we don't really want them, Dave. It's just a little bit of a show, like, you know what I mean? Look, I always let's make a show of it and all that, like, you know. If you want a player, go out there and get him. And you don't have to be necessarily going here and everything like that. Go and get those players. Get them in. Get them in for that first game of the season. So we're like, at this moment in time, we go to Crystal Palace. I'm not convinced that we can beat Crystal Palace. I'm not convinced we can beat anybody. You know, we've got 5 games after that. You know what I mean? Like 6 games. I ain't convinced at this moment with this team and this manager that we're getting to double figures in those points, like 10 points or more. That is not good enough for Arsenal Football Club when you look at those teams that we're playing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we will. I'm not saying that we won't. I am not confident. But I tell you what, if we got a top club, if we had Tielemans, say for instance, in midfield, I don't like bringing it up, but if we did, if we had someone playing left back, don't forget at this minute, Dave, Tierney's not even training. He's not going to start the season. All right, okay. He is not fit to start the season. We know we was weak in a left back at the end of last season with Tavares and everything's going at that. And we've got all summer and January to, address that. And we haven't done it yet. Don't tell me it's a great window, because it's certainly not.
It's not. Yeah. Luke's saying here, thank you for the super chat, Luke, as well. Much appreciated. When we get linked to a player, our fans hype him up. And then when the same player rejects us, he becomes overpriced. He says it's not good enough or hinders another player's development. Our fans are confused. Do you think it creates confusion in the fan base? Is Arteta like pushing the team forward? Is he or is the board pushing the team forward? Or are they stopping Arsenal from becoming a prospect for the Premier League again, like top 4 contenders? What's happening? What's happening with the fan base in general? What do you think, Lee?
Well, what I say from that is, look, how many questions you're asking there. It's all questions and everything like that. People turn around at me and go, are you negative or whatever, like, you know what I mean? The reason that I've got doubts and the reason there's a lot of negativity and a lot of things going on at the football club at the moment, because the club have not gone out there and squashed all that. What Arsenal needed to do, as I said earlier on, I don't care what anybody says. Arsenal Football Club, Arsenal's fans at this moment are a fragile bunch. Reasons being because of what's gone on in the past. We'll give them the utmost credit that they are the most patient fans that I've ever known. Even last season, even though the disappointment of last season, how many fans are backing Arteta, saying we're still backing you, we're still doing. It's been fantastic, right? And admirable. So what the club needed to do there was to reassure these fans, go, right here, bosh. These players in for it all, like. But what he's doing, all those questions you're said to me now are not being answered by the fans. I'm not saying you have to just keep splashing money at it, but honestly, Dave, we know, as for a fan base, we know that we're weak in midfield, we're weak up front, and we was weak on the left side of defence, right? They've not been addressed, not one of them. Also, not one player has left the club yet, apart from Guendouzi, by the way, 11 million euros.
Yeah.
Get your head around that. French international footballer. Young
prospectus. Yeah.
Tottenham will sell Harry Winks for 25 million. So don't, when you go around about saying, oh, let's trust the process, trust this, trust that, like, you know what I mean? You've got to earn trust, Dave. And at this moment in time, I cannot trust no one at Arsenal Football Club. I'm hoping, but I'm not confident and I'm not assured. And I am, when fans turn around and say, be patient, oh, it's only July the 4th or July the 3rd. I get that. Sincerely, I get that. But these fans were saying, oh, look at it on January. We'll get this and we'll get that. And at the end of it, nothing. You've got the club has got to reassure fans and make us fans feel a little bit safer. And that's my opinion. I'm not talking about what other people feel and whatever. Other people can come back and say, oh, like, you're negative and whatever, like, you know. All I'm saying is, from how I feel, I don't feel confident in this board that we are going to mount a serious challenge for top 4. I'm hoping the club, the players, Edu and Mikel need to make me. A lot of fans are saying, "Oh, wait till the summer, Edu and Arteta, then you can, see what Edu can do." You can't really have a game at the moment because he hasn't got his own players. He chose to do nothing in January, Dave. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not going to back that up with massive things for summer, let's see. Arsenal should have gone and got. You know, people are saying let's get Tielemans and all that. Like, you know, they should have got Tielemans weeks ago, Dave. They're not going to get Tielemans. I'll be very, very surprised. You know what I mean? Like, what'll happen is Tielemans will go somewhere else. Well, we weren't in for him. Then, well, who the bloody hell are we in for? Who are we in for? You know what I mean? Like, I'm hearing that we're not in for Gnabry now. Like, you know what I mean? It's looking like I think what's going to happen with Gnabry. They're still. This is what you're up against, Dave. You know what I mean? Like. Man City are going to sell Sterling and then and go and get Gnabry. That's what I think is going to happen. Like, you know what I mean?
Could happen, actually. That's a very good shout.
And you think to yourself, right? Well, this is how we're going to be, like, you know. And I don't know, like, you know what I mean? It's a real thing, like, you know. People in the chat saying, "Oh, like, relax, it's all that." I get that, and listen. I'm not stressed out about it at this moment in time. I'm enjoying other sports at this moment in time, and enjoying Wimbledon, enjoying the cricket. Johnny Bairstow again with another 100 today.
F1.
F1 was fantastic today. Apparently, like, you know, so I'm not bothered what's going on at the moment. But I will be bothered. If I go over to Orlando and there's not another 2-3 players signed by then, I am going to be saying about it. I'm not going to be happy. And I don't care when people can turn around and say, be patient. I've been patient enough. I have been patient enough with this board, with this manager, and even Edu now, like, you know what I mean? Like, he needs to strike up. He told me last week on an interview, in the next 2 weeks, Arsenal fans are going to be excited. Well, I'm telling you this now. If he thinks just Gabriel coming through the door and Manchester City, that, you know, I'm not going to say like surplus to requirements, Manchester City player, that ain't going to be enough to make me excited, Mr. Edu. I can tell you that now, like, you know what I mean? I'll slap his pork chop straight back in his barbecue face if that's what he thinks.
Yeah, Zaina actually says, Lee, I can see Jesus getting 20 plus goals this season. Well, it depends, really. Depends who's around him. It depends who's around him, Lee, isn't it? That's it.
Yeah, you know, you can say that. I can say that, you know, I can say at this time, I think he can get 40. Who knows? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you know, you being realistic or whatever. No one knows.
Goals across all, is it across all competitions
across
as well?
All competitions, you know what I mean? Like, let's wait and see. Like, he's not done it before. So, you know, what makes you say now he's going to do it? Like, what?
And he's not done it for one of the best
going to
teams
get more game time
as well.
You know, like, what's going to, if he's going to get more game time, what's going to happen with Eddie? You know what I mean? Like, what's going to happen with the right-hand side now? Because if you're prepared to go and spend 2 weeks trying to sign a player in, like, for Rafinha, which I'll give him credit for if that's what they've tried to do, where are you going next then? Where are you going next? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of, obviously, debate in the chat. 720 people watching. Thank you all for joining. Just to touch on earlier with Tottenham, I mean, if Arsenal wanted to make a statement in the transfer window, they just go in early. I mean, Tottenham immediately announced Perisic before even the window opened. They went for Basuma. They went for Richarlison. And these announcements, they happen literally. Tottenham just came out of the blue and said they went with Richarlison. So it wasn't like a rumored kind of transfer for weeks and weeks saying Richarlison's coming to Tottenham. It was literally out of the blue. Tottenham signed Richarlison. Out of the blue, Tottenham signed Basuma. Are they going into these board meetings? Are they going into, like, for example, negotiations with the player saying, this is it, this is what you're getting, that's it, and then they just sign? Why are Arsenal logging it out so much? I don't understand this. It's really, really, it's something behind the scenes that nobody knows what's happening. And are they doing business correctly? That's the situation that Arsenal are involved in.
As I say now, right? Richarlison, Bosch, done within 2 days.
Exactly.
Jesus now, not been signed for, signed.
When was it announced? It was announced.
Well, something's wrong in there. That's what every Arsenal fan now is going to be going. Something's wrong. Something's wrong, right? You know what I mean? This is what they do to us. This is if there's nothing wrong, get it sorted. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, but they haven't done it. Like, you know, so. you know, I'm fed up with it. Like, you know, I'm fed up with players, other players being managers, other players being linked with it. You know, I don't know what's going to happen with Tillemans. I think he'll go somewhere else now. I don't think that we'll get him. I don't.
Yeah, apparently, Newcastle are in talks for Tillemans, and I would see Newcastle as a team with the money they have, saying, "Okay, Tillemans, you're joining our team right now, and that's it."
Listen, I'm not. Listen, Arsenal. You know, you hear this about what Newcastle and Tillemans. You know, and we've been in talks with everybody. You know what I mean? So it doesn't mean to say that.
Are you in talks with Arsenal, Lee?
I'm not. I have been, but I'm injured at the moment, so it don't matter. Like, you know. Listen, I don't listen to all that. They're in talks. Anybody can be in talks. But listen, at the end of the day, if Arsenal wanted Tillemans, he would be at Arsenal now, in my opinion. Why haven't they signed Jesus? Maybe there's been something wrong with the medical or whatever, and that's what's happened. Like, you know what I mean? I've never known a player to sign on the Monday or Tuesday. I think he had the medical Monday, signed on Tuesday. We're now on Sunday, and we've still not had no news. So to me, that tells me that something's wrong, because you don't do that unless you're you're trying to make it out to be some magnificent thing. But listen, Arsenal fans are fragile, as I've just said, and the Arsenal don't care about that, do they? Because one, they don't care. Oh, they're going to milk it, so they don't really care about Arsenal. And then, or two, that there's something wrong with them, like, you know what I mean?
Well, Rafinha, a few people raise Rafinha. The Rafinha situation is one of the most ludicrous things I've ever seen. Like, Rafinha was the player that Arsenal was like, okay, this is our player, this is what's happening, and then there's Barcelona being thrown around, there's Chelsea being thrown around, hijacking the transfer market. And it's just, I don't know. I don't actually know why Arsenal just doesn't confirm something straight away for the fans, because it's ridiculous seeing it, to be honest.
Listen, the Rafinha one was, we got played. You know what I mean? You wanted to go to Barcelona.
It's played, yeah.
Arsenal started showing interest. It's made Barcelona make their move, isn't it? Like, you know, and we had it with Juventus, with Vlahovic. So again, we're not learning, like, you know. Listen. Arsene Wenger got slagged off so many times for, he could have signed this player, could have signed that player, like, you know. But now it's all fantastic, isn't it? Like, oh well, we've spoken to Vlahovic, we tried to get him, we tried to get Rafinha, we tried to get Martinez, we tried to get so and so and whatever, like, you know. Trying is not good enough no more. I'll say it again, and I say it whatever, you know. I don't want to be hearing excuses anymore about Arsenal. I don't want anybody coming to me, oh, Martinez didn't want to come to Arsenal because Manchester United were in there. Excuse, right? I don't care, like, you know what I mean? Like, if we couldn't get so-and-so because I don't want no more excuses from fans or club and whatever. It's a clean slate. I want to see some sort of results. I don't want to be seeing Arsenal next season in double figures in defeats and everybody saying, well, that's acceptable. We're improving. You know what I mean? Like 13 defeats down to 12. You know what I mean? It's still not good enough. You know what I mean? We might have improved by one game. It's still not good enough. I want to see us where we should be starting to be like. Where my season ticket price is, I want to see us being where we are. Not 8th, 9th, and missing out on this player, missing that. You know, when I see us getting back to where we should be, and it's getting me down a little bit now that we're not. Too many excuses coming in and all that. Like, let's be patient. Let's be patient. Why have we, as Arsenal fans, got to be patient? Why?
Yeah.
Why have we got to be patient? Why have we got to be, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, the club is making money after money and money. Free kits again are coming out this season, like, you know what I mean? Asking us to spend their money. Spend this on this. The Emirates Cup on the 30th of July will be a sellout. You know what I mean? Like, the tills will be ringing up as like loud as whatever. You know what I mean? But the club has got to start thinking and doing things itself. Please. Enough is enough now. No excuses.
Yeah. Jerome obviously sent us a super chat. Thank you, Jerome, for your kind donation to the channel. Every little bit helps. Every Arsenal supporter, employee, and player should remember the feeling of losing 3 games on the bounce. The 2 to Tottenham. The 2 to Tottenham and Newcastle. Tottenham and Newcastle. And then up the urgency, he says. Well, I agree with that. Should just Arsenal go, okay, sod it, guns blazing, let's just throw the money out there and see what happens. But that usually with Arsenal ends up getting second fiddle players that aren't really
I don't
by
think
any
Arsenal
means.
should be just chucking silly money at players. What I'm saying is, right, you know, if you've got a midfield player like Tielemans, this is my argument with Arsenal at the moment. It's whatever he's tagged at 20 million, yeah? Okay. All right. Why are Arsenal not prepared to put a little bit extra in it like that and go 30 million, right? But they're prepared to go 60 million or 50 million for Rafinha. Like, what it tells me is that they know they're not going to get Rafinha, right? So it looks good on their little CVs of all that. Like, oh, we went 50 million for Rafinha, right? I'm not buying into that no more, Dave. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, go and get your players that you need. You know, like, if the left back is 40 million, go and pay the 40. If that's who you want, if that's who you targeted for 3 months, go and get him. I don't want to see Arsenal targeting a player for 6 months and then like not getting him and then falling short like they did with Awar. I haven't forgot that one, by the way. And then like the Vlahovic one. I want to see proper things done now. And I don't want people going, oh, you get, oh, stop being doom and gloom. I wouldn't be doom and gloom or worried about it if Arsenal would do the right thing and done the business. If Arsenal would have come in and gone, oh, well, we've got Tielemans, we've got so-and-so now, we'd be all on here going, yes, it's great, it's fantastic, because Arsenal will give us hope. They haven't given us no hope at this moment in time, Dave, and that is why we are where we are.
Yeah, and there's just like random rumours coming out. Obviously, I think it was, people keep on saying Milinkovic-Savic in the comments, obviously a midfielder from Lazio, a good player. I think Fabrizio Romano made a statement about him about, I think it was roughly about half a month ago, saying but that's never happened. There's stories about Rashford and Arsenal links. Obviously, since Ten Hag's come in, I don't think Ten Hag is I think he's gonna restructure the whole Man United team and get the players that he wants to. Obviously, since Ronaldo's leaving as well, and getting all the players that he wants to. So Arsenal are in a bit of a pickle, because if Man United strengthen, Tottenham are strengthening, including potentially Jed Spence. Chelsea looks like they're selling players that you keep on saying, obviously, to get new ones in. Man City, Liverpool, well clear of the pack. Arsenal look like they're in a bit of a pickle, Lee.
Well, it does look
if
like
everybody
that.
If everybody strengthens around them, Malacia, obviously, pretty soon to join in Man United. So all these teams strengthen around them. So what's happening with Arsenal? And then all the fans are worried, isn't it? That's where the worry lies. Is all the teams around. Well,
let's be honest. You're a neutral, right? You know, you're a Real Madrid fan. If no one on here knows that, you know what I mean. So you got no real. You know, you like Arsenal, but it's not like that. What do you think? You're a neutral. You're actually saying what you're thinking, really, aren't you?
Well, when doing the filming uncensored after the matches, I can see what the fans are feeling. I think they're feeling a bit apprehensive. They don't want to. They're not. Arsenal are not a club where you're saying, "Oh yeah, we're going to go into the summer transfer window. And we're going to sign this. We're going to sign that. We're going to sign this. We're going to sign that." I don't feel like Arsenal are a club that actually do that. I would look at Man City and say, "Okay, they're going to sign so many players." Liverpool, sometimes, if they have a good enough squad, I don't like in winter. They signed Thingy, isn't it, Diaz? So, and then. When you look at Man United, and I work with Rance, who's X's brother, he's kind of like, he's in that situation where, Man United are not the team where they're going to go into the transfer window and doing anything. But I would bank more on Man United to sign players just because of their pulling power and Erik ten Hag taking control, rather than Arsenal. I see Arsenal as sixth in the Premier League to actually do any transfer business whatsoever. I think even Chelsea have more chance of doing transfer business, even though they need to bloody sell million players like Sterling. And if they do sell Sterling, they will have a chance of signing players. So Arsenal are not on my top books actually for signing anybody at all. I mean, Vieira came in, and like it's hyped up so much that this player's coming in, but I think he's just a second fiddle Odegaard, to be honest. I think Odegaard's better. I've never seen Vieira play as much, but I've seen from watching kind of like his footage, I see Odegaard as a better player, and I know personally because he played for Real Madrid, and I know what he's capable of. So I don't know. From my perspective, I think Arsenal fans are from behind the scenes. They're looking worried right now, Lee, and you are too, mate.
Well, yeah, I am. I'm you know, what I mean, I need a little bit more assurances and all that. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and I am getting a little bit worried
Chelsea
about
gets Sterling. I said, yeah.
You know what I mean? I totally get where Arsenal have not improved at this moment in time. We have not improved our team. What might improve is players getting better and all that. Like, but there was a great article today about Martinelli. He's been at the club 3 years now, and at 18 to now, has he really improved that much? And the fact of the matter is, not as much as what I thought he would. To be fair. So, you know, are these players going to progress under the manager and become really, really good and all that? Well, we'll wait and see. I think that Ben White has got to improve if he's going to be. I think I like Ben White, but he's got to improve to justify his £50 million transfer. So that's on Arteta. And certainly other players are not like as well. You know, what's going to happen with Saka? He looked very, very jaded towards the end of last season. You know, we're going to have more games next season, and you've not got no one in there to back him up at this moment in time. I think there's too many unanswered questions, too many question marks going into this season as there was at the end of it, like, you know. And on the back of what happened last season, I honestly thought, you know what I mean, like, we took a real kicking at the end of the season, Dave. You know, to get stuffed at Spurs, to go, because what the performance at Newcastle, us fans took a stuffing from 4 points in front to not get into the top four. Us fans took an absolute kicking, right? And I just think that the loyalty of the fans and everything there, the club could have done a little bit more and a little bit quicker. They could have just made a couple of set signings to just reassure the fans. Just put our minds at rest a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Make us light and easy over summer. But here we are, uneasy over everything. We sign a player, and a week later, it's still not been announced. Very, very worrying for me as a fan. Not good enough. Not good enough in my book.
Yeah. So just before we wrap up, Lee. So in addition to Vieira. And Jesus, when that gets announced, what would you like to see? Which positions? And I can put this in the chat as well.
I want to see 2 positions filled before we go to Orlando. I want to see a quality midfield player come in, and I mean a quality midfield player. And I want to see a left back coming in.
Okay,
and not just a left back to cover. I don't want all this covering, like someone to take over from Tierney, and Tierney's going to be the one covering. I'm a big fan of Tierney. Doesn't last a season, Dave. Doesn't last a season when we've got 1 game a week, nor does Partey. Why am I saying that? Because the proof was in the pudding last season. Both of them injured, both when we needed them, both out of the team. When they was out of the team levels of performances and that dropped, so we need them to be kept at the same level. So I'm looking at 2 players coming into there. If Arsenal don't address that, I don't care. You know what I mean? It's a fouled window for me, whatever they do. Obviously, there's going to be some players going out. Obviously, Leno, good luck to him and all that. Like Pepe, I don't know what's going to happen with Pepe. But a few of those players need to be gone. And then we need to be bringing in a few more players. We still need to strengthen the squad as well. I still think we need to strengthen the squad.
Especially for European football is 100%.
For European football, not so much at this moment in time, because I think that in the Europa League we can get through that with a second team. I do believe that. But come in January, need to strengthen, but we don't strengthen in January, so we need to strengthen now. No more, as I said earlier on, no more excuses. Don't want to hear them no more, Dave. Don't want to hear no more excuses. I want to see you this week. I want to, don't forget, next Friday, by the way, is Arsenal's first friendly. It's in Nuremberg. I know they had a pre-season friendly over the weekend, which they won 5-1 with a lot of players that are not going to be at the club. But they play Nuremberg on Friday. I'm actually going over there for that, so it'd be interesting to see what team that they've got for that game. But I then we then got another week, and then we go to Orlando. So we've got about 2. I think that. Hold on, just 1 second with me, Dave. Let me just let's just see how long it is. We don't go to Orlando. Actually, we actually go to. So on the 7th, I think it's on the 16th or the 16th.
It's 17th. It's Arsenal Everton. Apparently.
Arsenal Everton. So they'll go to America. I would say we're around about America. In less than 2 weeks' time, we go.
21st of July is Orlando City.
Yeah. So
and then the Florida Cup with Chelsea.
Chelsea, which is the 23rd, is it? We play them.
Yeah, 23rd of July. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then on the 30th we have the Emirates, and then
Sevilla.
So realistically, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 5 weeks to the Premier League starts. 5 weeks, less than 5 weeks, guys.
Yeah, that's crazy. Actually, when you put it into perspective, it is that, isn't it? It's a total of what, 30 days, 32 days.
There you go. Yeah. So it's 5 weeks before the season starts. So within the next, I think someone just put in the chat, the next 2 weeks will be crucial. If Arsenal haven't signed no one in the next 2 weeks before they go to Orlando, right? I'm telling you that now. Be worried, Arsenal fans. Be very worried.
Yeah, because Arsenal are not a team that is known for their late businesses. Well, apart from Ozil, I remember when Ozil hit the news, that was very late.
yeah, but I mean, like, listen, by the time we've learned, have we not learned our lesson? We didn't have the players. We wasn't ready last season. We was bottom of the league when we signed players, and then we had a lift of a few game win when we had these two players in there. Got to be ready for the 5th of August, Dave. Not the 5th of September, the 5th of August. Season starts 5th of August. Main players in for that game there.
Yeah,
little bit of Nigel, little bit of a cherry on the top, little business, sprinkling of the old Thousand Islands at the end of the transfer window. But the main part of your cake, 5th of August.
Start of the season. And if Arsenal don't start that well, then that is trouble, because their All or Nothing series is coming out on that same week, isn't it?
I'm not even looking forward to that. I don't even we won't even go into that at the moment.
Their trailer was a bit weak.
Yeah, trailer was a bit weak, and so was the finish.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, it's like watching Jaws. You know what happens in the end? The shark dies.
Yeah. That's it. Well, everyone, thank you for joining the show. Any last things to say, Lee, before we head off?
No, all that. Enjoy the week. We'll be back, I think, on Wednesday. If you can, get yourself over and subscribe and watch BetVictor and me on there. It's a good show. It's a good panel. Some big hitters on there, some very, very big hitters on that show. It's a really good show. So get yourself over there and have a look at that. I think we're going to looking to be back Wednesday, aren't we, Dave? Because obviously, I go to
Nuremberg.
I'll go to Nuremberg the next day, and I know you've got a busy Thursday as well. I've
definitely got a very busy Thursday, mate.
So we won't say no more about that. I'm disappointed I'm missing that, and and then we'll try and do one over the weekend when I get back. We're trying and do one on the Saturday or something, if we can. Saturday or Sunday, talking about the Nuremberg game as well. So some big things coming up for us as well.
Yeah, true. So that's it pretty much from us, guys. Thank you for everyone who sent in their comments, their super chats. We will be back very soon. And if you didn't catch our last vlog of Dave and Lee's vlogs, mate, then make sure you catch that.
Look at that. It was quite funny, you know what I mean? I've had quite a few people saying that the actual, a few people actually bumped into at the weekend, and a couple of family, because it was my mum's birthday today, and we had a little bit of a do yesterday. and a few people came up to me and said the bit when we was on the train on the tube at the end was quite good, like, you know what I mean? So, and it was all off the cuff, so it was good, like, yep.
All of it was off the cuff. So if you've enjoyed Dave and Lee, we're planning to do more. Send us some ideas. What should we do? Where should we vlog? And maybe we'll action them, and then we'll go around London somewhere, or maybe abroad. Lee, that would be great, isn't it? Imagine we're going
to try and do a European game.
European day, 100%.
See where it is. Me, you, and Dang will try and get someone out there, and
hopefully it's not in the very, very far east of Europe.
We're trying to get hopefully, like, I'll tell you what, someone like Dublin would be good, or we'll see Scotland or somewhere.
We'll see
like
the
that.
draw in it. We'll see the draw.
We'll see what goes on. Like, you know what I mean? So Amsterdam would be nice, but I don't think that's going to happen, mate. You know?
Maybe, you never know.
Last super chat. Out, like, you know?
Last super chat. Another avid listener of Lee Judges TV, Nathan Mina says, "When will our board learn that we can't go into seasons unprepared?" Happy birthday to your mum, Lee.
It's the now great way to leave it. That's the way it's got to be. Like, you know, let's hope that the lessons are learned. Lessons are learned.
Okay. Well, that's everybody say happy birthday to Mum of Judges.
Yeah. Right. Happy birthday, Mum. Happy birthday.
And we will catch you next time. Make sure you subscribe, like this video, comment down below, and we will see you next time. Take care, guys. Have a good day.